Chapter 1. Face the fear and you will succeed. Vincent Santiago. Before you're able to realize your dream, you must have one defined and have a burning desire for its achievement, as mentioned in the classic book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. You'll be surprised that most people do not know what they want. Therefore, it is of vital importance for you to define your overall objective and visualize it as frequently as possible throughout the day. If your objective is to have a thriving business, describe everything down to the last detail in writing. This first step will enable you to visualize quickly with little to no resistance. Also, you must have a great desire for its achievement. Little to no hunger for something will yield little to no results. Therefore, desire is an important key to success with visualization. Define your objective. What do you want or would like to be in this world? A world championship boxer? A millionaire? A new automobile? A new home? A new relationship? More confidence? A healthy self-image? There are no limits to your desires, as long as it is within your unique ability to handle it. For example, not everyone can become President of the United States. Therefore, you must define what is best suited for you. Take a moment to think about something you'd like to have or become. This process is easier when you limit your desires to one or two things at a time. Listing too many things at once may cause you to become discouraged, as it can overwhelm you during the visualization process. Also, each desire has its gestation period, meaning some goals may take longer than others, and you might just miss an opportunity to fulfill a desire because there is simply too much going on. Once you have defined your overall objective, write one or two sentences describing in the present tense exactly what you want or what you'd like to become. Consider downloading our free goal affirmation card from our website here, theaffirmationnetwork.com/pages/goal-card. Print your copy, write down your goal in the present tense, and view it as often as possible. The unique thing about the mind is that a lie told long enough will start to become real. Remember, we're not teaching you to be fake or to lie to people. We're giving you the tools necessary to train your mind to become the person you need to be to have your goal. You must qualify before you can apply for the job. Desire. You have to want what you desire. Until you're able to feel it in your bones, your desire is not strong enough. Napoleon Hill calls this type of desire a white heat. In other words, nothing can put that fire out, baby. The will to win and the ability to see yourself as you wish to be will direct your mind towards the accomplishment of your desires. In the Bible, it says, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." What that means is, if you cannot visualize yourself in a new state of consciousness, you will die in that state of conscious awareness. In other words, if you cannot see yourself as a world champion, you will never become one, and the chances of you even trying are slim to none. Decide on what you'd like to have or experience, and keep that vision in front of your eyes as often as possible. Before Conor McGregor ever became a UFC champion, he borrowed someone's belt and had his girlfriend snap a photo of it over his shoulder. He would stare at the picture as often as he could, soaking up the feeling of what it would be like as a world champion. He would also visualize himself with other nice things, such as a luxury vehicle, when in reality he was driving a beat-up old car that would often give him problems. Life is all about how you see it, and as the great saying goes from the dramatics, what you see is what you get. In an interview with Fox Sports, Conor McGregor sums up visualization in one sentence: say what you're going to do and go and do it. Our definition is knowing what you want and letting God fill in the details. It's as simple as that. You can have your dream if you hold on to that desire with faith and purpose. It's easy to visualize and connect with the feeling when good things are happening, but can you imagine and feel the same feeling when it seems as though everything is coming against you? Creative imagination is real power. Whether you're an athlete on the road to becoming a champion, a songwriter, an inventor looking to change the world, or someone looking to improve your confidence, visualization helps you become that person now in the present tense. The miracle of your mind. Perhaps the most beautiful thing about the mind is that it has the unique ability to create mental pictures so clearly and so vividly that it can change your state of mind and affect your environment. Western science is now taking a closer look at how visualization influences the environment around us and its ability to heal a diseased body through a powerful feeling. In medicineless hospitals across Asia, this practice, not uncommon as the Western world, would consider this a miracle. In one case, 3 practitioners who work with the energy in her body and the feeling in their bodies heal a tumor in a living woman in 3 minutes, live on video, through the power of thought and feeling. Princeton University developed a project called the Global Consciousness Project, which measures conscious awareness and collects global statistics and data according to one's thoughts. The same thought and feeling that healed the woman's tumor can also impact peace among nations, according to the Global Consciousness Project. In one experiment, hundreds of thousands of people joined together through the internet for a window of time, thinking and feeling peace, and the results were astounding. During that window of time, there was a measurable dip in crimes against others. Aerial bombings scheduled to deploy in Iraq reversed, and emergency hospital visits declined. Consider all the things that your mind brought to you. Think about everything you currently have, your relationships, philosophies of life, your home, and your current occupation. Everything you have now is a direct result of you using your mind. We've all heard the estimates that most experts say that we have been operating on 10% of our brain's capacity, while Dr. Margaret Mead quotes 6% and Dr. Herbert Otto quotes 5% capacity. The UCLA Brain Research Institute shines a new light on human potential as neurological studies reveal astronomical abilities latent in each of us. They suggest that the creative ability of the human brain may be infinite. In other words, our mind is an infinite storehouse of data that has been recording every second of every moment you've ever had, even during sleep. Now, let's compare your mind with a standard computer. The average computer can hold around 250,000 pictures, 20,000 songs, and hundreds of movies, all on the size of a small thumb drive. On the other hand, your mind can perform an estimated 10 quadrillion operations per second without your knowledge. Think about your heart or the air you breathe for a moment. Are you consciously making your heart beat, or do you think to yourself to breathe in and out? No. All of this is happening beneath the level of conscious awareness in the subconscious mind. The great secret is that your mind can attract everything you've ever wanted, or it can destroy you. Along with the great ability to serve the trillions of cells in your body per second and perform many other tasks simultaneously, it has only one limitation. The only limitation the subconscious mind has is its inability to distinguish between something vividly imagined and a fact. Sounds hard to believe, right? You have probably experienced waking up from sleep in a cold sweat, breathing heavy with your heart racing. We've all experienced unpleasant dreams. The fact is that you were not in any real danger whatsoever, but your mind did not know that. Your body reacted as if the nightmare was a fact. A doctor conducted a study of an elite athlete skier with a device that measured the athlete's muscle fibers. He instructed the skier to just think about skiing without moving any muscles. The mere act of thinking fired off the same muscle fibers that would normally fire off if he was skiing. The placebo effect. Numerous experiments validate the placebo effect, whereby an individual's expectation affected the body's chemistry in a similar way that alcohol or medication might have caused. In one experiment, Group A, suffering from a particular illness, received an FDA-approved drug specifically for that disease, while Group B, who suffers from the same illness, gets prescribed a sugar pill. Both groups had a 100% cure rate. Researchers believe that at least 1/3 of all medical treatments are successful due to the belief that it will be a success. The incredible power of your mind can lead and guide you to new heights, or it can lead you to the gutter. Your results depend on how you use your marvelous mind. Questions. What would you like to be? What would you like to have? What would you like to experience? How to visualize like a world champion. Step 1. Define your ideal life or objective. What do you want or would like to experience? Purchase a small notebook and list your goals and overall objective. If you would like to lose weight, describe yourself and how you would feel if it were true. Affirmation. The incredible power of my mind can choose and select ideas to become, have, or experience. Chapter 2. Dwelling on the negative simply contributes to its power. Shirley MacLaine. If your unconscious thoughts are negative towards the good that you desire, you will always sabotage the manifestation process, thus delaying your dream. It's the equivalent of driving a Ferrari with 500 horsepower with a governor that won't allow you to go past 55 miles per hour. Until your thoughts and visions become impressed deep within the subconscious mind, you'll always get the same results. In most cases, there is so much negativity held within the subconscious mind that it requires a great deal of visualizing and affirming your desire to supplant the contrary ideas. If you have ever tried to use these great universal laws, but failed miserably and gave up because you thought it doesn't work, it is simply the response of your dominant thoughts. Often, you may get the opposite of what you want for two reasons. First, it stirs up the negative ideas in your mind so much that it causes a reaction that leaves you in doubt and back to square one. At this point, you have a choice to continue affirming and visualizing what you desire, or you can simply give up and go back to what you were doing. There is an old saying that says, "Let sleeping dogs lie." Sleeping dogs represent the negative ideas in your mind, and if you don't want any issues, don't wake them up. The negative ideas may be implanted in your brain through childhood programming, from parents or peers, or even a traumatic experience. Taking a closer look, if your parents always talked about how money was hard to get, or that money somehow is evil, you will have a money rejection complex that is unconscious. However, if you expand your awareness during adulthood and realize that money is good and a servant to you, those negative ideas held deep within the mind will arise and attempt to disrupt your new idea. If a negative thought comes up, cast it away as if it were a sin and keep visualizing until it supplants the negative perception of reality. We will go over how to get rid of negative beliefs, ideas, and people effectively so that your dream will not delay. Finally, the law of attraction makes you aware of the things that you need to clean up before anything else can happen, but you ignore these signs. Visualization opens your eyes to new possibilities by pulling you towards what you want. If you'd like to have more money, you may get fired or laid off from your current job so that a new job opportunity will present itself with the salary you desire. The key to success when dealing with negativity is not allowing adverse circumstances to cloud your judgment and destroy your spirit. Rather, you should continue affirming and visualizing, because when success meets opportunity, you'll be ready. How to remove negativity. Understanding where you place your focus is crucial in mastering the art of visualization, and it plays a significant role in how your life will pan out. We believe that visualization is the most powerful way to optimize your surroundings and increase your chances of success. There are various ways in which you can eliminate negativity from your environment and consciousness, so we listed other methods that aid in the removal of negativity. 1. Build a fortress. If you have ever been to Bel Air, Los Angeles, or the Hamptons, New York, or Millionaire's Row in Miami, you'll notice that most of these homes have massive walls and gates with security on the premises. By building a fortress around their property, the owners are more secure and come back to a peaceful place with little to no distractions. You must build a fortress around your invaluable mind as well. Guard your thoughts, feelings, and emotions, so that anything that is incongruent with the good that you desire will not be allowed in. You may also have to build a fortress around certain people that are negative towards your dreams. Of course, family members are hard to eliminate from your life because, well, they're family. Therefore, we would suggest limiting your time with that particular individual. 2. Surround yourself with like-minded people. By surrounding yourself with like-minded people, you will have encouragement 24/7 and constant support during the ups and downs on your road to success. Conor McGregor had this to say about surrounding yourself with like-minded people. I just listen to the people that are close to me, listen to my family, listen to my friends, listen to my team. And then that's it. Nobody else exists. Absolutely nobody else exists. I'm just tunnel vision on this path. Surround yourself with like-minded people who are eager to win and want to become the best version of themselves. We are all products of our environment, but you also can create your environment on a day-to-day basis. Examine your 5 closest friends and ask yourself if they are looking out for your best interests, and do they support you? If your 5 closest friends are broke, unhealthy, and have no plan to succeed, you'll be the 6th. 3. Affirm positive ideas. Every day we are affirming positivity or negativity, whether we're conscious of it or not. By becoming more aware of your thoughts, feelings, and emotions, you'll be able to filter out and correct negative self-talk. By replacing negative affirmations with positive ones, you will dramatically improve the chances of taking action on your ideas. For example, if you find yourself saying within your mind, "I'm just not good enough," you can replace that negative idea by saying something like, "I am good enough. I take inspired action and stand boldly in spite of fear." Your words are power. In Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21, it says, "The tongue has the power of life and death." It also says in Proverbs chapter 6, verse 2, "Thou art snared by the words of thy mouth." Ralph Waldo Emerson said this about the power of thought. A man is what he thinks about all day long. All throughout history, great leaders have disagreed with one another. But when it comes to this idea that man is the result of what he thinks about, they are in a complete accord. 4. Visualization. Visualization is perhaps the most efficient way to get rid of negativity within your mind, as it allows you to create infinite states of consciousness that can immediately alter your thoughts, feelings, and emotions. When negative thoughts or circumstances present themselves, you can quickly go to a quiet place, relax the mind, and visualize yourself sitting on a bench for 5 to 10 minutes. With constant practice and development with visualization, you will find it easier to get centered and enter into a state of consciousness that occupies your desires. 5. Clear your energy field. David Snyder, who teaches NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, demonstrates a simple way to clear negativity from the mind and body through the way in which the mind connects with the body. In many of his classes, he'll show you exactly how to navigate your feelings, emotions, pain, pleasure, and events in correspondence to the mind to alter or delete them, thus removing blocks to your prosperity and health by keeping the lesson and letting the rest go. In doing so, you will create new neurological pathways in your mind, allowing you to become free, and you'll discover that the old idea will no longer bother you when the topic is brought up. 6. Forgiveness. Clearing or altering contrary thoughts, events, and emotions from the mind by keeping the lesson and letting the rest go is also a way of forgiving yourself. If it is genuine and deep, looking in the mirror and forgiving yourself is a good way to get rid of the negative ideas held within the mind. There are many ways that you can forgive yourself. You can write your frustrations on a piece of paper and burn it, indicating that it has disappeared and is no longer a part of you. You can also write it in the sands of the beach and watch the ocean wash it away. If you do not live near a beach, you can visualize yourself writing and witnessing the sea wash away anything you'd like to clear up. Questions. What negative thoughts arise when you think about a goal you'd like to achieve? What childhood experience or teaching led you to believe it is true? Who are your 5 closest friends, and are they helping or hurting you? Describe your environment. Does it support your dreams? How to visualize like a world champion. Step 1. Define your ideal life or objective. What do you want or would like to experience? Purchase a small notebook and list your goals and overall objective. If you would like to lose weight, describe yourself and how you would feel if it were true. Step 2. Remove negativity. Removing negativity includes negative thoughts, negative people, and a negative environment. Take note of any negative thought or negative affirmation and repeat a positive affirmation when that negative thought arises. Affirmation. I surround myself with my dream and like-minded people. Chapter 3. Be as little children, and you can have anything you want. David Snyder. One key to success with visualization is the ability to humble yourself and imagine in the same way that children do. In kindergarten, children are encouraged to use their imagination during recess and to let their minds soar. But something happens during our adolescent and adult years. The school system begins to place limitations on our desires, and we're often told to stop daydreaming so that we can snap back into reality. Creating images within your mind is a natural-born gift that you are all blessed with, as this innate ability helps you create your reality. Visualization is the ability to create mental pictures and movies in your mind as if it were a present fact. It is the process by which you construct scenes from formless substance until it expresses itself physically. One of the characteristics of the subconscious mind is that it does not know the difference between something vividly imagined and material reality. If you continue to see yourself as a world champion, a successful speaker, or best-selling author, the subconscious mind accepts the idea as if it were already a fact and proceeds to make it a reality in your external world. You will find yourself guided across a series of events that will ultimately lead you to your vision. Serendipity is the term we use to describe these coincidences that seem to work like magic and happen effortlessly. So stop trying so hard when visualizing. Kanye West, a multi-platinum recording artist, once said, "When you try hard, that's when you die hard." Realize that everything is simple and effortless when you leave the hard work up to an unseen power that is God. Success stories. There are far too many personal success stories to list, but I will list some of the most recent visions that either came to pass instantly, 24 hours later, or took a month to manifest. 1. Hair regrowth. During my childhood, I contracted a common fungal infection amongst children that left my scalp itchy, scaly, and I had 2 bald patches on my head. It crushed my confidence growing up, as it took months to heal. And my hair didn't completely grow back after the doctor stated it would. After testing many products, nothing seemed to work for me. With my head held low, I swallowed my pride and accepted it as is. Over the next 20 years, the bald spots began to fill in slowly, but would peak at about 55%. I often kept my hair long so that it would cover up the spots nicely with a few strokes of the comb until I joined the U.S. Air Force. Around this time, I already made peace with my long-lost hair, and I didn't allow it to affect my confidence. Fast forward to today. I recently created a list of all of the things I wanted compensation for, as well as dreams I never got the chance to experience. Having my hair back was in the top 10. Because I was acutely aware of the power of the subconscious mind and its power, I had no problem in believing that it would help my hair fully grow back. Next, I created an affirmation written in the present tense that said, "I am so grateful now that I have a full head of hair." I said this over and over again before sleep and would visualize hairs growing back in the spots that were missing. The next day, I felt compelled to do some research on natural home remedies for hair regrowth, and I thought I'd give it a try. Well, after about a month of visualizing, affirming, and applying the home remedy at least 4 times a week, my hair started to fill in. Not only that, it began to thicken in places that were frail and thin. It was a miracle. 2. Beautiful, fully furnished guest house. When I moved to the city of Los Angeles, my friend was gracious enough to allow me to crash in his studio room for $400 per month. Not bad at all for Los Angeles, huh? But I needed more space to operate my business and a bit of personal space, as people were often in and out of the studio for recording and photography. One night, I thought to myself before sleep, wouldn't it be nice to have my own place with everything included and fully furnished? That seed wouldn't escape my mind. So the next day, I began searching for a 1-bedroom guest house with a kitchen and office fully furnished with everything included in the price. Not only that, I want to live in a safe location that also represented abundance. After a few places didn't work out, I started to give up hope and felt defeated. But after about an hour, I got the courage to hop back on my computer to continue my search. After a few tweaks in the word search, one place in particular stood out around 6:45 p.m. The description of the property, the location, the security, price, and it was fully furnished, so it was a perfect candidate. The irony of it all was the fact that there were no pictures, so I thought to myself, what the hey? The number was available, and I immediately called, and to my surprise, the landlord answered and told me to come check out the place right away if I wanted. I immediately hopped on the road and discovered that the place was more than I had expected. It was beautiful, and there was a luscious garden that friends call the Oasis. The very next day, I was approved and secured the place and moved in a few days later. 3. A free guitar. A few years after I sold my guitar collection and music equipment, I had a strong desire to pick it up and start playing again. That's just part of a musician's life, I guess. You can take the guitar away from a guitarist, but it'll somehow find you again. It started with that simple desire, and then it grew so much that all I could hear was guitar songs playing in my head. I was addicted to Candy Rat Records on YouTube with their list of the greatest players in the world. It never left, even while driving, as my steering wheel became a guitar and anything else that touched my hands. I would pluck the strings and hear the notes so clearly and slap the body for the percussion until I came back to reality. About a week later of doing this, my friend called me and asked if I would like to join him in the studio to record a new song, and I gladly accepted. During a break in the studio session, my friend said, "Hey, do you want this guitar? I'm not sure where it came from. I think it was here before we moved here, and no one else claimed it. You can take it unless someone calls for it." No one ever did call for it, and the guitar plays great, by the way. Keys to my success. Note, we will discuss these keys in great detail in subsequent chapters and sections, but as the old saying goes, repetition is the mother of all learning. So we will hammer these principles away until it's deeply ingrained in your mind. 1. I knew what I wanted. If it's money, how much? If it's a car, what color, year, make, and model? Be as specific as possible. 2. Unquestionable belief. There was no question that I believed in what I wanted to manifest. A strong belief is essential. If you find it hard to believe in your vision, it's perfectly okay to turn it down a notch. For example, if you are visualizing $1 million in your bank account, but find it difficult or find yourself in conflict, try imagining a smaller amount, like $500,000 or $200,000 instead, until you can work your way up. 3. Visualize and affirm before sleep. Because the conscious mind is subdued when you're in a theta state, your affirmations and visualization quickly pass into the subconscious mind. Have you ever had an idea during the day, but your reasoning mind talked you out of it? That is because your logical mind is on guard for anything that is not in harmony with your story, which includes all present and past dominant thoughts. It is there to protect you from harm. However, this is self-suggestion, so the only person you are manipulating is yourself. During the theta state, your mind is more relaxed and open to suggestion. Therefore, this is the best time to practice visualization. A word of caution. Use these principles for good purposes only. Your mind will accomplish more if it stays home and doesn't drift off and attempt to manipulate or control others. We believe that you should have full integrity when practicing these principles. 4. Have fun. Play pretend and use your imagination to create as little children do, and use all your senses. Being uptight will keep your desire from flowing right. Relaxing the mind will allow things to flow naturally and with little to no work. Have you ever experienced an answer to a question suddenly flash into your mind when you were relaxed? Hard visualizing prolongs the process. Therefore, I encourage you to affirm, visualize, and let go. Discipline. In this process of visualization, you must have a white heat of desire for what you want. You must be fascinated with your dream. You must surround yourself with your desires in every way possible so that it becomes a part of you no matter where you go or where you look. For example, Drake, a multi-platinum recording artist, once had a picture of a 12,000 square foot mansion on his desktop years ago before he bought that house. He often talks about success principles in his music and interviews. In a song called Both, Drake says, "See, the power of the mind is not a joke, man. I said that I would do it, and I did." Whatever it is that you'd like to experience in your life, you must be willing to put in the effort necessary to make it happen. Songs will not write themselves. Weight does not fly off instantly, and champions do not become so without the required effort. Nothing is free in this world. It requires self-discipline, patience, and persistence to accomplish your desire. The interesting thing about this process of visualization is that it will assist you in your mental discipline as you learn to set aside time each day to shut out all sensory perception, to see and feel your wish fulfilled. Also, it will help you keep out those negative ideas that come from within your mind as well. It takes discipline to see yourself with your desired goal. Practice makes perfect. Visualization is an art and skill that you must practice and develop every day. It's just like anything else you'd like to become great at. You must practice, practice, practice. The good news is that you have been doing this your whole life, mostly unconsciously. Think about some of the good that has come into your life and try to think about the times you were daydreaming about it. This guide will help you increase your awareness of your visions, thoughts, feelings, and emotions, as this contributes to your mental compulsion to act progressively. The problem most people have, however, is the natural inclination to visualize negative situations and circumstances that may significantly impact the results you're getting. Our natural inclination to think negatively is not uncommon in us humans, though. In fact, imagining negative situations is how we survive. We wouldn't be capable of running, hiding, or even fighting off a life-threatening animal without first visualizing what it can do to us. The problem is that this mentality is a little outdated by at least 500 plus years. The chances of us getting attacked by a shark are exceedingly rare. In fact, you're much more likely to get hit by an asteroid or struck by lightning than bitten by a shark. The media is notorious for highlighting all the negativity in the world, and because it's all we see every day, we tend to have a more negative outlook on the world. Therefore, I would encourage you to limit your exposure to the media, and even social media as well, for the next 7 days, and take note of the level of optimism in your life. In this business of life, you must take control of your thoughts, feelings, and emotions, because if you don't, someone or something else will. Reason versus imagination. The reasoning mind, also known as the conscious mind, cannot imagine, while your imagination cannot reason or think for itself. The reasoning mind will tell you that you're down to your last penny as it accepts it as a fact. However, everyone can shift gears into another area of the mind and instantly become a multimillionaire through visualization. Your visualization can take you anywhere you'd like to go. You can become anything you'd like, and you can have the confidence or any material possession you want to have without the restraint of the conscious or reasoning mind. The secret goal of visualization is to manage both your thinking mind and your imagination. It is quite easy to become subject to the facts of the reasoning mind, but you must also learn not to get too carried away with imagination. Just like anything else in life, it's all about balance. Everything that you currently see in this material world is a result of imagination. After an idea flashes into the reasoning mind, it begins the process of building a clear picture. Once an idea becomes affirmed with emotion and conviction, it'll become firmly planted into the subconscious mind, where the magic happens. For example, the vehicle you drive every day was the result of an idea that passed into the part of the mind that imagines until it materialized into fact. Before anything can occur in the outer world, it must first exist in the inner mind and imagination. Albert Einstein once said, "Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions." Nikola Tesla never started a new project until he first developed the idea fully in his mind and corrected any faults before putting any serious effort into creating its physical reality. In this same manner, you must first build your ideal life in your imagination, and once it passes onto the subconscious mind, it will lead you to the manifestation of what you visualize. Creative versus transformative imagination. Before you visualize your desire, you must first ask yourself if you would like to create something entirely new or alter something. Creative and transformative imagination are the two methods of visualizing. Both visualization and imagination are one and the same. Creative imagination is the process of creating something entirely new that does not currently exist. Transformative imagination starts with something that already exists and you would like to alter it. For example, if you would like to remodel your kitchen, that process of visualizing a newly transformed kitchen would be considered transformative imagination. If you'd like to create an entirely new television show based on your characters, this method is creative imagination. Now that you know the difference between creative and transformative imagination, you can begin by starting with one of the two categories. Because you can create something new and you can transform something, you cannot remain stuck in your present situation unless you want to. Your current experience does not bind you. The best time to visualize. When is the best time to visualize? The correct answer to this question is all of the time. However, most people have work, families, events, and personal lives to live. We're all busy. So, if you cannot find the time to visualize during the day, when is the absolute best time to imagine? Before sleep is the best time to visualize. When you're about to go to bed, the conscious mind shifts into the theta wave vibration, which is around 4 to 8 hertz, where the pitches and troughs are significantly slower than your awakened conscious state. During this time of drowsiness, the conscious mind is subdued, allowing you to visualize your dreams in this state until sleep. You should visualize before you sleep to pass an idea onto the subconscious mind without your conscious mind attempting to discourage or talk you out of it. When you arise in the morning, it'll be too late for the conscious mind to talk you out of it, as the idea will already become a part of your deeper mind. During sleep, your subconscious mind remains awake and immediately connects you with all necessary solutions, contacts, and resources to fulfill your desires. In Psalm chapter 46, verse 10, it says, "Be still and know that I am God." This verse of Scripture means to know what you want and lets the infinite power of God fill in the necessary details. You've probably been to a family gathering and heard something like, "Well, it runs in the family," right? The evidence of something occurring over many generations may be a fact, but you also have the power to accept it or not. I'm sure you have experienced a nightmare from time to time. We all have, but your strength comes from your reaction to it. If Sally and Johnny experience a similar dream of an unwanted deity or a premonition of an unpleasant event, Sally might immediately reject the idea while Johnny might become fearful. Fear is a negative state of consciousness of things that are not real. It is the negative use of your creative ability. I like the acronym false evidence appearing real whenever I become fearful about something. Therefore, it is imperative that you guard your mind against things that may creep into your consciousness during the day, and most importantly, during sleep. My most effective way to reject a contrary idea that attempts to enter my mind is the word cancel. You can also say within yourself, "You know this is not real, right?" You may use a different word or phrase as long as it gets the job done. Your only job is to decide on what it is that you would like to have or experience, and the subconscious mind will create solutions to that which you visualize. In the same manner that it can create heaven on earth for you and your family, it can create hell. In Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7, it says, "I form the light and create darkness, causing well-being and creating calamity. I am the Lord who does all these." A lot of people see Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7 as a contradiction, but what it means is that you create your light and darkness. You have the power of choice to allow visualization to take you to new heights or enable it to control you. The choice is yours. One word you should never use. The word how should never be a concern when you visualize. The reason why you should never consider how your vision will materialize is that it will cause you to shift from the area of your mind where you imagine back to the reasoning mind which thinks according to its present circumstance. Do not be discouraged if you do not know the solution to your vision at the moment. Continue to see and feel as if it is already a fact, and you will be led to the solution or how it will materialize. Act as if. When the answer reveals itself to you, naturally follow that idea. And after it materializes, you'll see that it was all a part of the manifestation process. The first line in an old hymn written by William Cowper in 1774 reads, "God moves in mysterious ways, his wonders to perform." There is a power greater than us that knows intimately more solutions, connections, and resources than you have the conscious ability to create. Many call this power the higher self, infinite intelligence, the subconscious mind, or God. No matter what you call this higher power, you must trust that it is looking out for your best interest. Therefore, you should never wrestle with the idea of how it will materialize. Only continue to see and feel what it would be like if it were true, and it will soon become a reality to you. The theater of your mind. The theater of your mind is that special place where you'll act out the vision of your desires in your mind. There are 2 requirements before you can enter into the theater of your mind. First, you must know what you want or the person you would like to be. And finally, you must become a great actor or actress who acts out the vision over and over until your outer world reflects what is going on inside. There is a great book entitled The Art of Acting by Stella Adler that teaches you exactly how to become that person you are trying to portray. You must see the person you want to be clear in your mind and act out mental movies, much like how an actor or actress does when preparing for scenes. Fully absorb yourself into the character with conviction and feeling you would like to have associated with it, and keep that idea with you throughout your day. Think about the role that you're going to play in this game of life and realize that you are the star in your film. The problem with most people is that it is easy to visualize others becoming successful, but not them. Perhaps past experiences or the reasoning mind conflicting with the new idea. You must realize that the only time that exists in this world is now, and you don't have to take on life living in an old story. You can create something entirely new by becoming the director, lead actor or actress, and writer. In fact, you are the star, the writer, and the director of your life, and you can immediately become anything you wish in your imagination until it becomes a fact. Before you can enter into the theater of your mind, you must ask yourself what character you would like to create. Then begin building that ideal character clearly in your mind. Visualize the perfect level of health that you would like to have, and you'll find that your positive visualizations and affirmations will ward off many diseases and illnesses through the power of your subconscious mind. Visualize yourself as a happy person by taking on the characteristics of happiness, fulfillment, and self-love. Imagine the kind of person that has great relationships with friends, family, and a lifelong partner, and you will be led by the power of your mind to great relationships. Visualize a peaceful person and how they would act towards people and circumstances. Imagine success and prosperity by living out the vision in your mind and with the feeling it brings you. See yourself as a person that has a lot of money quickly and effortlessly flowing into your life with investments and businesses that produce more money for your enjoyment and personal use. In Matthew chapter 17, verse 9, it says, "Tell the vision to no man until the Son of Man is risen again from the dead." You shouldn't tell anyone or most people your dreams and ambitions because they will most likely talk you out of it. Visions held within your heart and mind are like small seeds that must be taken care of. And if you are not careful, someone will crush them. Perhaps because they have tried and failed in the past, or they secretly do not want you to become more successful than they are. They also did not receive that same flash of inspiration to become something greater. So it is best to just keep it to yourself until it becomes a fact. This practice will limit any outside friction as things come to fruition. In Matthew chapter 6, verse 6, it states to shut the door during your prayer, and that the Father or the superconscious will see your prayer in secret and will reward you openly. Everyone will see you in your new home, but they didn't witness the prayers in your secret place. The Father was there with you during your prayer in secret, and the world saw the manifestation of your visualization. Questions. What role are you playing in your life? Are you the star actor or actress, or are you in the background? What role do you want to play? What are the characteristics of the character you would like to become? How to visualize like a world champion. Step 1. Define your ideal life or objective. What do you want or would like to experience? Purchase a small notebook and list your goals and overall objective. If you would like to lose weight, describe yourself and how you would feel if it were true. Step 2. Remove negativity. Removing negativity includes negative thoughts, negative people, and a negative environment. Take note of any negative thought or negative affirmation and repeat a positive affirmation when that negative thought arises. Step 3. Get into a comfortable position and relax your entire body. Shut the door to all possible distractions. Shut your eyes and breathe in deeply and exhale 5 to 10 times. Stay in the present. Affirmation. I am the star, director, and writer in my movie. Chapter 4. Whatever we plant in our subconscious mind and nourish with repetition and emotion will one day become a reality. Earl Nightingale. Visualization is the practice of seeing and feeling yourself already with your wish fulfilled. And once your subconscious mind has a new idea, it will proceed to make it a fact. The subconscious mind is so powerful because it does not know the difference between reality and something vividly imagined. It is also not associated with the time. Therefore, the absence of your desired wish will push the subconscious mind to seek solutions to make it a present fact for you. There were many times in my life where I needed something, and I would immediately get a phone call with the solution on the other line. Other visualizations may take longer, as each vision has its gestation period. The subconscious mind only knows one time, and that is the present moment. Subconscious correlation. Subconscious correlation is responsible for all of the necessary details associated with your desired wish. For example, when I visualized myself playing an imaginary guitar and hearing the sounds it produced, the subconscious mind immediately began to search for solutions to make it a reality. It subconsciously correlated the meeting with my friend, who happened to have a guitar with no owner. It had every detail worked out. And as I was led to record one day, there was a beautiful new guitar with my name on it. In my mind, I already had the guitar in my possession. It was just a matter of time before it externalized itself. During your visualization, you must utilize all of your senses as if it were a present reality. You must see, hear, taste, and touch your desires over and over until it gets passed over to the subconscious mind, which works to solve problems even while you sleep. Our definition of subconscious correlation is the relationship between a thought and the reality of that idea. In other words, any idea held in your mind will eventually manifest itself into reality through the solutions within the subconscious mind, through all necessary resources, people, and events. When Roger Bannister first ran a mile in 3 minutes 59 seconds, no one ever thought it could be a possibility because it had never happened. How did he do it? How did he achieve the impossible? Roger Bannister could not have broken the 4-minute mile record by physical strength alone because he failed in the past. He first had to achieve it within his mind until there were no questions that he could pull off the impossible through the actions of his body. Since then, in the last 50 years, the record has lowered by almost 17 seconds as the glass ceiling above the heads of non-believers shattered. Within 2 years after he broke this record, 37 other people also ran the mile in under 4 minutes through the power of belief. The subconscious correlation between where you are and want to be will lead and guide you to the fulfillment of your vision for your success, or something you would like to possess physically. Is there something you would like to accomplish but find yourself hung up because of a physical limitation or doubt within your mind? How do you shift from lack and limitation to unlimited possibilities? If you have all of the necessary attributes to become an NBA basketball star, but do not see great potential within yourself, your actions will affect your results, thus reinforcing the belief that you cannot do it. And as the cycle continues, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. However, a champion's mentality starts from the vision and belief that it can happen, even if there is a physical limitation. Tyrone Muggsy Bogues was the shortest NBA player ever to play the game, standing at a tall 5'3", but he didn't let his size disadvantage stop him from playing 14 seasons as a starting point guard with 6,858 career points, 6,726 assists, and 1,369 steals. He said, "I never really thought about my height. Other people see me as 5'3" inches. I just play the game the best way I know how. Never let your limitations limit you." Self-image. The incredible power of choice gives us all the ability to choose our unique self-image, thus creating a life of great success or failure. What you see in yourself every day will become a direct reflection of what you visualize. If you see within your mind, feel, and expect sickness, that's what you'll get. However, if you see within your mind, feel, and expect good health, you'll be guarded against all illnesses when most of the world is expecting the flu during flu season. Aldous Huxley once said, "There is only one corner of the universe you can be certain of improving, and this is your own self." Gary Vaynerchuk, a successful entrepreneur and investor, claims not to have been sick since his marriage began 11 years ago. This idea of perfect health was said to be the result of his subconscious mind not allowing him to succumb to illness. We must do away with the old idea that life happens to us or that success rests in the hands of chance. No matter what runs in the family, you now can expect the same experience to happen to you, or you can choose your future. Your real power comes when you know that you have the potential to change an unhealthy environment and your perception of reality so that you do not fall victim to chance. The hidden self-image is the primary cause of extraordinary success and failure in life. It is an essential element as it controls every aspect of life, just as the mind controls a heartbeat. The results you are currently getting, whether it is your relationships, money, happiness, success, or health, is a direct reflection of your self-image. If you do not like the results you are getting in any area of your life, you can now recreate your life by changing your self-image through the power of creative visualization. Your results are an expression of what is going on inside the image that you hold within your mind. Until you begin to create changes within your mind, you will continue to get the same results. One of the most common mistakes that most people make is the idea that change must come from something outside of you. Moving to a new location will not make you more successful or provide you with better relationships. You will always attract the same results, relationships, and circumstances because you're attempting to change something outside yourself. Do you turn your car by moving the tires, or do you control it from the inside by taking control of the steering wheel? Of course not, but this is what most people do. To become a world champion, you must first qualify by working on the inside until it becomes your new identity. How to begin a visualization. The first thing you must do before starting your visualization is to build your ideal self-image within your mind. Whether you are visualizing for a few minutes during the day or before sleep, you should first get into a comfortable position on your chair or bed and repeat the following example. You are encouraged to add more details of how you'd like your ideal life to be to capture the feeling necessary to impress your subconscious mind. I enter into the theater of my mind, and as I shut the door, I see myself as a happy, vibrant, and successful person. The only question you must ask yourself before starting your visualization is, what do I want to be, do, or have? The answer to this question will clarify your vision exactly as you build a perfect image of yourself through the process of visualization. The very fact that you know what you want out of life will place you in the top 5% of the people who know where they are going in life. The sad reality is that most people do not know what they want, and this is perhaps why approximately 88% of the population are unsatisfied with their lives. Healthy habits. A good habit to adopt during your visualization practice and in your waking hours should involve an image of perfection for yourself and others. It will help you clarify what you want through the universal conductor, which is the subconscious mind, and it will substantially reduce judgments of people based on outer appearances. In Matthew chapter 7, verse 2, it says, "For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with that measure ye mete, it shall be measured to you again." To realize that we are all equal and come from the same source, we should hold an image of perfection for ourselves and others. To see others as God sees others takes power. For example, if you come across a so-called vagrant on the street, visualize them as God sees them, perfect. To pass judgment on someone else, you must hold a negative image in your mind, which only passes that judgment upon you. I do not recommend catering to this beggar's consciousness, but I do recommend giving them something to ponder. For example, if you have time, you can share an affirmation such as, "I see something better in you." This statement forces them to look within themselves and wonder what you see in them that they may not. Thinking leads to solutions. Questions. What is your current self-image? Is it clear or unclear? What results are you currently getting? What have you been planting in your mind? Think about your interactions, television, movies, and music. How to visualize like a world champion. Step 1. Define your ideal life or objective. What do you want or would like to experience? Purchase a small notebook and list your goals and overall objective. If you would like to lose weight, describe yourself and how you would feel if it were true. Step 2. Remove negativity. Removing negativity includes negative thoughts, negative people, and a negative environment. Take note of any negative thought or negative affirmation and repeat a positive affirmation when that negative thought arises. Step 3. Get into a comfortable position and relax your entire body. Shut the door to all possible distractions. Shut your eyes and breathe in deeply and exhale 5 to 10 times. Stay in the present. Step 4. Visualize and affirm greatness. Use our intro visualization template to get started. I enter into the theater of my mind, and as I shut the door, I see myself blank. Use positive affirmations to connect with the images you see in your mind and include all of your senses. The goal is not just to visualize and affirm your desires, but to feel them so they will quickly pass onto the subconscious mind. Affirmation. I close my eyes and see and feel whatever I wish. Chapter 5. The inner eye is always seeing things into manifestation. Vincent Santiago. The manifestation of your desires first starts with mental pictures held within the eye of the mind. The eye of the mind is the esoteric or inner ability to see things in its physical expression. The inner eye is always seeing things into manifestation. Therefore, you must answer the following 4 questions before you start your visualization. 4 questions to ask yourself. 1. What do you see yourself becoming in your mind's eye? 2. What is your inner self-image? Furthermore, is it clear or unclear? 3. What do you see yourself having? And 4. What do you see yourself doing? You can begin the process of building the ideal image of yourself by including all senses such as sound, color, smell, movement, feeling, and reality. Once you have that image of perfection within your mind's eye, you must hold that image before you with faith, persistence, conviction, and feeling. Once you have successfully impressed the new idea into the deep reservoirs of your subconscious mind, you will find yourself experiencing a series of events that will ultimately lead you to your true place in life. A good affirmation to use during your visualization can be the following. The infinite power of my subconscious mind leads and guides me to my destiny. Years ago, I experienced the feeling of being stuck and hopeless at a particular job while also living in a city that I did not see many opportunities. With this thought in mind, I began to transform the images from the physical eye into something better. First, I saw myself living in a city with great opportunity all around me, while living comfortably in a beautiful new home. A few weeks later, after visualizing myself doing better and feeling more accomplished, I received a call from my employer while on the job telling me to come up to the office. It wasn't good news. Unfortunately, I was one of the many that were laid off that day with no prior notice. Getting laid off may seem like an unfortunate event, and it did at the time, but after landing a better job with better pay and a new place in the city I wanted to live in a few months later, I realized that it was all part of God or the subconscious taking over. When you visualize and experience an unpleasant event, just realize that it is all part of necessary mechanics to bring forth that which you seek. Always see the good in everything, because it will ultimately lead you to your destiny. Giving thanks in all situations and asking for wisdom when you are uncertain is always a good idea. All 3 levels of the mind are all connected to help you see things into physical manifestation. In other words, God is always seeking to create through your imagination. This visualization guide will help you become more aware of the higher power that is already working within you. Earl Nightingale once told a story of a boy who struggled to play piano, in which the music in his head didn't quite express itself at that moment. The keyboard is capable of sounding quite beautifully, But do not discard this instrument if it is not fully expressing itself the way you intend at this moment. With practice and persistence, you can begin to take control of the most advanced technology known to man, which is the ability to transform or create images within your mind into physical reality. God's only intention for you and the creation is good, but the problem comes when we relate to it negatively. For example, the automobile's intention is for convenience and comfort. But if you relate to it in a negative way, you can seriously hurt yourself and others. Most people refer to their current circumstance negatively by seeing negative images, thus creating more of that prevailing thought, feeling, and emotion. Because the original intention of the cosmos is noble, you must make it a practice to relate to your current circumstance positively. You were not born just to live a life of scarcity and limitation, but of perfect health, happiness, joy, success, love, prosperity, and having money easily flow into your life. You must cooperate with this good intention of God by seeing yourself as you are originally intended. See yourself opulent and in perfect health, because that is your original state. See yourself happy and joyous, because that is who you are. See yourself giving and receiving love, because that is what you are. You are good. Many churches preach the doctrine of original sin, but it is true. And how does this teaching have to do with results, with visualization? This section is devoted to the population of people who have certain hang-ups with the thought of receiving God's goodness. Everything that God declared when He created everything in this world was good, according to Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 through 31. How can sin be original if God made everything to be good? Because man, who originally comes from God, who is good, sins. Therefore, cannot be original, being made from this perfection. The doctrine of original sin places those who believe in it on the negative law of mind, which believes that we do not deserve the goodness of God. Instead of seeing yourself as an undeserving sinner, you must begin to see yourself as you are, perfect in the eyes of God. That image of perfection within your consciousness will reflect your outer experience, and you will see yourself and others accordingly. The focus on sin in the church consequently attributes to more sin in the world. Your attention goes where your power flows. In other words, you cannot become healthy by studying illness, just as you cannot become rich by studying poverty. To come to be great in this world, you must first believe that you are great and that you expect nothing but the best. Relating to yourself negatively will cause you to fail and lose on the battlefield of life. A true champion sees him or herself as a winner before the title match. Otherwise, you have already lost. Look within. Visualization is looking within your mind's eye and shutting the door to all outside influences to see what you want to see. You must learn to look within your inner eye to see what you want, and the thought, feeling, and emotion associated with that vision will begin to clothe itself into reality by the power of the subconscious mind. When you see with your outer eye, you may see things that are not in harmony with your desire, but you can see yourself as you wish. When you see with your physical eyes only, you will continue to get what you picture in your mind. Faith. The great thing about visualization is that there is a gestation period associated with that which you visualize. I know there are some things that you would probably like to see manifest immediately, but unfortunately, the cosmos does not operate that way. Imagine visualizing a car, and suddenly a car appears out of nowhere, or visualizing a mountain lion appearing in your living room after watching the Discovery Channel. Paulo Coelho once said, "It's the possibility of having a dream come true that makes life interesting." The possibility of having a dream become a reality requires faith. In Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1, it says, "Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." Patience is the key to see things into physical expression. You can't expect to get fit by going to the gym once, right? It takes effort and dedication to grow daily with your vision until it becomes a part of your daily ritual. Once your image is firmly planted deep within your mind, you will be compelled to take inspired action, and that action will lead to the results you want in due time. Real beauty. The statue of David, sculpted by Michelangelo between 1501 and 1504, is a perfect example of creative imagination. Many people probably came across that same stone and saw nothing but a giant rock. But Michelangelo looked upon the stone and saw a perfect statue of David. Some people see things as they are, but if you would like to become a master at visualization, you must learn to see things as you wish them to be. When Michelangelo started carving, chiseling, and sculpting the stone, he was realizing everything he saw within the rock. So you are always realizing everything into manifestation every time you visualize what you want within the eye of your mind. Any vehicle you see on the road was first a vision held within the mind's eye of the designer, and that idea became a sketch before being sculpted into a prototype. There are many designers in this world, such as architects, men and women's clothing designers, computer designers, interior decorators, and jewelry designers. In the same manner that any great creator builds from the images within their mind to make the world a more convenient and enjoyable place, you must design your ideal life. It is also interesting to note that any design that does not utilize the interworking power of the mind ends up in disarray. After the Second World War, there were thousands upon thousands of steel oil drums left in the Caribbean, which would seem to be a nuisance. However, someone looked at these same oil drums, and instead of seeing a problem, they saw musical instruments and began tuning the steel drums to play notes just as any other instrument. Nothing is free. You cannot get something for nothing in this world, even if it states that it is free. Many families learn to survive generation after generation by depending on the government for handouts. But this mentality does more harm than good. First of all, it will rob you of your self-sufficiency, which demeans your self-image on an unconscious level. For this reason, giving someone too much will cause them to dislike you without them being aware of it. More often than not, someone will bite the hand that feeds them because they are given a little too much. Giving too much to people will rob a person's dignity on an unconscious level, because the law of giving and receiving states that you get what you put out. In other words, you reap what you sow. When you depend upon a handout without the thought of getting on your own feet, it will take your dignity and self-sufficiency, and you'll hate that person or government without knowing the reason why. Protesters against cutting welfare are a perfect example. They receive everything necessary for survival, but remain in a dependent state of mind. I do believe that it serves a purpose, much like unemployment insurance, but there is a thin line between receiving help when necessary and becoming dependent. If you do not transform the image that is before you with your physical eye to something better with the eye of the mind, you will be changed by something else. Learning to modify or create something new within the eye of your mind will free you from political policies or any other change that may occur. In Romans chapter 12, verse 2, it says, "And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Renew your vision by changing the image you see into something better. What the evil eye is. The evil eye is the negative use of the eye of the mind. In John chapter 7, verse 24, it says, "Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment." Every judgment that you pass will become impressed upon your subconscious mind, and it will reflect itself in one way or another. The fact that a particular person may be terrible based on their actions, it is best to leave it alone. Not to say that you have to befriend that particular person, but true forgiveness deep within your mind is probably best for you. When you come to the place where you do not judge evil, whether it is illness or an unwanted action by another, it will disperse when you use your inner eye to see good. The possibility for anything can occur in this world according to quantum physics, but you can also choose another option. In Proverbs chapter 20, verse 8, it says, "A king sitting on the throne of judgment separates out all evil with his eyes." You are not the king over others by your judgment, but you are the king over your mental faculty to see things as you wish. This practice will help you neutralize negativity by sending love to the appearance of evil. According to USA Today, the city of Los Angeles has the most homeless in the nation, and you might find yourself being tempted to pass judgment according to that appearance. However, it is a good practice to see them as God sees them in a perfect state. Or if you find yourself overwhelmed, it is best to mind your own business to avoid unrighteous judgment. What you see is what you become. Therefore, you should see positively with the inner eye. Questions. What are the images you see in your mind's eye? What judgments do you quickly find yourself passing? How to visualize like a world champion. Step 1. Define your ideal life or objective. What do you want or would like to experience? Purchase a small notebook and list your goals and overall objective. If you would like to lose weight, describe yourself and how you would feel if it were true. Step 2. Remove negativity. Removing negativity includes negative thoughts, negative people, and a negative environment. Take note of any negative thought or negative affirmation and repeat a positive affirmation when that negative thought arises. Step 3. Get into a comfortable position and relax your entire body. Shut the door to all possible distractions. Shut your eyes and breathe in deeply and exhale 5 to 10 times. Stay in the present. Step 4. Visualize and affirm greatness. Use our intro visualization template to get started. I enter into the theater of my mind, and as I shut the door, I see myself blank. Use positive affirmations to connect with the images you see in your mind and include all of your senses. The goal is not to just visualize and affirm your desires, but to feel them so they will quickly pass on to the subconscious mind. Affirmation. I look within my mind's eye, and I see what I want to see. Chapter 6. Be Here, Be Now. Oprah Winfrey. Visualization is active, creative imagining with your thoughts, feelings, and emotions until physical expression. There are 2 key points you must always keep in mind when visualizing. First, you must always include yourself playing the starring role in your visualization. Secondly, you must think from your visualization by seeing yourself already with your desired outcome. It is not necessary to just visualize a car or money because this will separate you from it. To get closer to where you want to be, you must include yourself in your visualization from a first-person point of view. If you would like a brand new car, you must get behind the wheel of the car you'd like to have and check your mirror, smell the leather, turn on the radio, and drive through the city in consciousness. This practice of connecting your thoughts with your feelings and emotions will lead you to the realization of your vision. You may be surprised at the speed of its materialization the more you practice. The only time is now. The only tense that exists within the subconscious mind is the present. Whenever you visualize and see yourself as a more confident, high-performance individual, or even a world champion, the subconscious mind accepts it only as a current reality. In Luke chapter 23, verse 43, it says, I tell you the truth, today you will be with me in paradise. This verse of Scripture means that you must impress your mind with the positive vision in the present tense. Because the subconscious mind is always present, you must never think or project your thoughts accomplishing your dreams someday in the future. You should never think, I will be. Instead, think, I am. The essential operation of the visualization process involves I am. Joel chapter 3 verse 10 says, Let the weak say, I am strong. This verse of Scripture may cause you to believe that you should lie, but the truth is that you are strong and that weakness is the lie. You are just affirming the truth in the present tense, because the only time that exists is now. Visualization is perhaps the most efficient way to fill the shoes of the person you would like to become. It is challenging for the subconscious mind to project itself into the future as becoming or eventually having what you want. Therefore, you must always refer to what you want or want to become as already being a present fact. I am. Another goal for visualization is to transfer the images from your conscious mind to the subconscious mind with the thought and emotion that you already are what you want to be. You must get to that place where your conscious and subconscious mind says, I am. I am is the name of God, the cosmos, or infinite intelligence. Therefore, whatever you add to I am, you will become. If you think and feel good health, you will become what you visualize. And if you see and feel rich, you will become it. 3 ways to use the law of I am. Verbally, a verbal affirmation. For example, you can say, I am rich. Visually, visualizing yourself already with your desire. Feeling, a vibration of energy from the result of thinking and emotionalizing your vision. The mental process of visualization. Before you can begin your visualization, you must first choose what you want to experience in your conscious mind. The conscious mind can select an idea that it would like to pass onto the subconscious mind. Once you define and describe an idea that you would like to visualize, it moves into another area of the mind that operates on fantasy and imagination. Because most people like the idea of having more money in their lives, we will talk about the mental process for visualizing money. Conscious mind. Here in the conscious mind, you will choose what you want. In this case, we are choosing to have and enjoy money. You must also be specific. Let's start with $50,000. If you feel that $50,000 is too small or too large, work with a number that feels more comfortable to you. Your visualization of money can be in the form of paper currency, a check, or a number in your bank account, or all of these. Whichever one you choose, make sure you study a $100 bill, a check written to you for $50,000, or numbers in your bank account. It's not hard to take a screenshot of your bank account and use Photoshop to make it easier for you. You can also write yourself a check. Just be sure to keep it in a safe place. Remember, this is for your eyes only, because you are training your mind to be the one who can receive that money. Beyond the threshold of mind, or eye of the mind, the area of your mind that is in between your conscious and subconscious mind. When you enter into the theater of your mind and you begin to visualize money before sleep in a drowsy state, you are coming into the eye of the mind, which is beyond the threshold of the intellect. The eye of the mind is where you will control your imagination in a relaxed, passive way, so there is no interference from your reasoning mind. Let's say you'd like to hold $50,000 in paper currency. Visualize yourself at this moment with a bank teller and manager in a closed office, counting $50,000 cash for you. They are placing a large stack of crisp $100 bills into a counting machine. She presses start, and the machine begins counting the money, each stopping at $10,000. She grabs each stack for you and places yellow and white strap labels that say $10,000. She then stacks all 5 $10,000 stacks on top of each other and asks, "Would you like rubber bands around your money?" You reply, "Yes, please." You then place the money along with your statement in your bag, and as you leave the room, she asks, "Would you like security to escort you to your vehicle?" You reply, "Yes, ma'am." Engage in small talk with the bank teller and manager. See the new $100 bill design over and over as each new bill adds to the stack. Hear the machine counting your money. Smell the money as its scent enters the atmosphere. Feel the money as you place it into your bag. Do this over and over again each night before you sleep. Your visualization should include all of the senses as if it were a reality. Subconscious mind. When you add all of the senses of reality and mix in emotion, it will move into the subconscious mind, which speaks the language of feeling. It seeks to solve problems for you while you sleep and will grow anything you plant in it. The subconscious mind is the universal conductor that connects with the superconscious mind, which connects you with the people, resources, and events that will lead you to the $50,000. It might show up in the form of a job, business, winnings, a gift, or inheritance. No matter what form it takes, you must keep your mind open to all possibilities and take inspired action when necessary. Superconscious mind. The field, the matrix, God, infinite intelligence, the cosmos, the universe. It is the love energy and compassion that holds the cosmos together. Its desire for you is to win, succeed, and express itself fully in you. Because there is an infinite power looking out for your best interest, you should leave the details to this great power. Do not worry about how things will happen, when, or with who. Just know that you are now in possession of that which you visualize, and you are the one who is entitled to the blessing. The empty space in the universe is God. Questions. Do you think about the present or the future during your visualization? If you'd like something to happen on a specific date, consider projecting your mind from that time and rejoice as if it were a present fact. What ways have you used the law of I am, negatively or positively? Remember, anything you add to I am, you become. Speak and feel the truth of who you want to be. How to visualize like a world champion. Step 1. Define your ideal life or objective. What do you want or would like to experience? Purchase a small notebook and list your goals and overall objective. If you would like to lose weight, describe yourself and how you would feel if it were true. Step 2. Remove negativity. Removing negativity includes negative thoughts, negative people, and a negative environment. Take note of any negative thought or negative affirmation and repeat a positive affirmation when that negative thought arises. Step 3. Get into a comfortable position and relax your entire body. Shut the door to all possible distractions. Shut your eyes and breathe in deeply and exhale 5 to 10 times. Stay in the present. Step 4. Visualize and affirm greatness. Use our intro visualization template to get started. I enter into the theater of my mind, and as I shut the door, I see myself blank. Use positive affirmations to connect with the images you see in your mind and include all of your senses. The goal is not to just visualize and affirm your desires, but to feel them so they will quickly pass onto the subconscious mind. Affirmation. I envision my desires with joy and love. Chapter 7. The secret to having it all is knowing you already do. Paul Chucks. Gratitude is an expression of appreciation, and the more you give thanks for what you have, more will be given to you. Recognition plays a significant role in the visualization process because it expresses to the cosmos that you appreciate what is happening and you would like to experience more of it. Since you are visualizing in the present tense, having received your desires in your mind and feeling, you should also give thanks for it. Giving thanks for what you have is easy, but giving thanks for a desire that has not expressed itself into physical reality takes power. Dr. Joseph Murphy wrote in his book, The Miracle Power of Your Mind, what you bless, you multiply. What you condemn, you lose. If you are seeking a new and exciting relationship, a good practice to adopt is to bless couples in your mind as you go about your day. Do not become envious and condemn a happy couple just because you currently feel disconnected with your life partner. Instead, continue to visualize beyond the threshold of the intellect every night to reprogram your mind for the giving and receiving of love. The next time you see a couple hold hands at a park or in the city, just send your blessings and love to that couple in your mind. This appreciation for the love you have within your mind and what you see will raise your energy levels to match the vibration of your ideal partner. Do not be surprised to discover your life partner sooner than you think. In Mark chapter 11, verse 24, it says, Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. This verse of Scripture means to live in the end or on the receiving end of your blessing and to give thanks for what you now have in consciousness, and you will have it. Consider a gratitude journal to increase your appreciation for what you have and want. Keep a small journal with you for 1 week and list everything you are grateful for throughout the day. Think about your health, success, your present circumstance, your new vision, your home, friends, and family. You can also list every past success as well to serve as a reminder that miracles do happen. If you have little to no time during the morning and you often rush out the door before work, consider prioritizing the practice of gratitude as it will retrain your mind to appreciate your surroundings. This return of kindness to the universe will keep you aligned with the flow of infinite possibilities. Therefore, this step should not be overlooked. The ultimate goal is to come to the place in your mind where you give thanks always in your conscious and subconscious mind. Guided visualizations. We recommend using these guided visualizations before sleep. However, you are encouraged to visualize as often as you can throughout the day. These guided visualizations serve as a template, and you are invited to change and expand them. Good health. I shut the door to all outside influences, and as I look into the theater of my mind, I see myself in good health. I'm stepping on the scale, and I see myself exactly at the weight I want to be. The reflection in the mirror is how I see myself. I am in the best shape of my life, and my clothes never fit better. My skin is glowing, my eyes focused, my teeth are like pearls, and my hair is healthy and full. My energy is soaring. I feel young again. I am so happy and grateful for good health. Love. I shut the door to all outside influences, and as I look into the theater of my mind, I see myself giving and receiving love. There is a warm, fuzzy feeling going down my spine to my toes and back up to my head. I feel a deep and warm appreciation when my partner walks in the door. Our touch is like magic. Our kiss is pure bliss. My life partner is everything I have ever wanted. I am so happy and grateful now that I have a new and exciting love relationship with my best friend. Happiness. I shut the door to all outside influences, and as I look into the theater of my mind, I see myself very happy and satisfied with life. I look in the mirror and smile for no reason. My smile lights up any room. My happiness is contagious. My energy level is naturally high. My vibration is soaring. Listen to the way that I'm laughing. I love life. I am achieving all of my goals and strive to raise the bar. I am so happy to be me. Success. I shut the door to all outside influences, and as I look into the theater of my mind, I see myself as a high-performance individual. I have achieved all of my goals and look to reach new ones. I have climbed Mount Everest. I feel accomplished. My confidence is soaring through the roof. I have soared with the eagles. Every success leads me to new ones. I am the lucky person I have always wanted to be. Peace. I shut the door to all outside influences, and as I look into the theater of my mind, I see myself having peace of mind. My peace of mind overrides any worries, fears, and frustrations. My emotional intelligence is very high. I am calm and relaxed throughout the day. Nothing bothers me like it used to. It feels like I have a whole new frame of mind. I am grateful now that I have inner peace. Money. I shut the door to all outside influences, and as I look into the theater of my mind, I see myself as a wealthy person. I always have a lot of money, no matter what is going on with the economy. My money makes me more money every day of the year, all day and night. I can buy and experience anything my heart desires. I love giving to my favorite charity every month. Good people surround me and are looking out for my best interest. I now have all of the funds I need to make life more comfortable and convenient for my family and me. Questions. What are you thankful for today? How to visualize like a world champion. Step 1. Define your ideal life or objective. What do you want or would like to experience? Purchase a small notebook and list your goals and overall objective. If you would like to lose weight, describe yourself and how you would feel if it were true. Step 2. Remove negativity. Removing negativity includes negative thoughts, negative people, and a negative environment. Take note of any negative thought or negative affirmation and repeat a positive affirmation when that negative thought arises. Step 3. Get into a comfortable position and relax your entire body. Shut the door to all possible distractions. Shut your eyes and breathe in deeply and exhale 5 to 10 times. Stay in the present. Step 4. Visualize and affirm greatness. Use our intro visualization template to get started. I enter into the theater of my mind, and as I shut the door, I see myself blank. Use positive affirmations to connect with the images you see in your mind, and include all of your senses. The goal is not to just visualize and affirm your desires, but to feel them, so they will quickly pass onto the subconscious mind. Step 5. Gratitude. Give thanks for what you currently have and for what you are visualizing. Affirmation. I give thanks for every good thing that I have. Chapter 8. Take Massive Action. Tony Robbins. Visualization is your God-given ability to see yourself in your mind's eye exactly what you want to become, have, or experience. You can close your eyes and picture yourself walking on your favorite beach and drinking your favorite drink. You can feel the breeze and the spray from the ocean water and the sand between your toes. You could generate the feeling of what it would be like if your vision were a present reality by engaging all of your senses. When you learn to shut out all negativity and concentrate on what you would like to achieve, you are choosing a vision or objective. Not only must you have a vision, but you must also be very specific about what you would like to become, have, or experience. You must affirm and visualize as often as possible to firmly implant that new idea into the deep reservoirs of your subconscious mind. Once an idea has successfully passed over to the subconscious mind, you will find yourself led to a series of events which will lead you to your desires ultimately. When an opportunity presents itself, you must take massive action, as Tony Robbins says. If you do not take action, you will not release the vision in your mind. Therefore, you must not delay in taking as much action as you can each day. Taking action will not seem like hard work at all. It will seem surreal and like magic. You must start with the vision of yourself being, having, or experiencing what you want. And from that point, that image will release infinite possibilities and belief, thus causing you to act progressively and having better results. Now it's time for me to express my gratitude for you purchasing and reading this book. Thank you, because you are amazing creators and action takers. Listen to this book 10 to 15 times to get this information firmly ingrained in your mind. Good luck, and thank you for your service. Questions. What opportunities have you passed upon only to see someone else invent or achieve a goal that has flashed in your mind? How to visualize like a world champion. Step 1. Define your ideal life or objective. What do you want or would like to experience? Purchase a small notebook and list your goals and overall objective. If you would like to lose weight, describe yourself and how you would feel if it were true. Step 2. Remove negativity. Removing negativity includes negative thoughts, negative people, and a negative environment. Take note of any negative thought or negative affirmation and repeat a positive affirmation when that negative thought arises. Step 3. Get into a comfortable position and relax your entire body. Shut the door to all possible distractions. Shut your eyes and breathe in deeply and exhale 5 to 10 times. Stay in the present. Step 4. Visualize and affirm greatness. Use our intro visualization template to get started. I enter into the theater of my mind, and as I shut the door, I see myself blank. Use positive affirmations to connect with the images you see in your mind and include all of your senses. The goal is not to just visualize and affirm your desires, but to feel them so they will quickly pass onto the subconscious mind. Step 5. Gratitude. Give thanks for what you currently have and for what you are visualizing. Step 6. Take action. Taking action is the final key necessary to achieve your every desire. If you would like to learn a new skill and suddenly you get an email or hear something you'd like to do on the radio, take it as a sign that you must follow through to make your dream become a reality. By now, you should be excited and inspired, so just go for it. Remember to keep your eyes open for these opportunities. Affirmation. I look into the face of fear and take massive action anyway.